and we are really glad that you're here. Ivory and I got a chance to work together for the Courage and Health series, and I pitched this to her, and she said yes. And I think we both agree that 2026 is going to be a very exciting year, and we might as well grab it by the horns.
Hit the ground running, guys.
Exactly. Ivory, do you want to like introduce kind of like your work? You know, they say when you do a presentation, you're supposed to explain your credibility and your story just a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. That's right. Hey, guys, my name's Ivory Hecker. I am historically a professional TV news reporter. For 9 years, I was in the corporate TV news. And then for the past 4 years, I've been independent journalism. A lot of people learned about me when I called out the corporate news corruption live on air in 2021, and it went really viral. And then I thought I was retiring from the news at that point, but so many people demanded that I come cover the actual stories of what's happening now that I was free from the corporate controls. And so there was just so many people asking me to cover news at that time. I didn't realize at the time that independent journalism was actually a new, upcoming, thriving industry. And I started to meet these other independent journalists who were just wildly successful, and realized part of the reason the corporate media hated them was because they were so successful and their jobs were actually easier, freer, and more liberating and more honest. And the corporate media is just not allowed to be that way. And so the corporate media hates the independent guys and trash talks them, but they're the ones winning. They're the ones that people are going to. And so that's what I've been doing is independent media ever since. And I've since created a course, basically a mini college to teach people how to do what I've been doing successfully, what my friends have been doing successfully in the independent media, because nobody has training on this yet, to learn the actual journalism that I learned in a top-notch J school, but take it into the independent media space and do it the right way and meet the people's actual needs. So I created that course, which we're going to go through a little bit of what I teach in the course in this workshop. And we're also going to get a lot of Alana's top-notch insights from her expertise. And I'm so glad that we're teaming up because she has some great tools that can help you guys. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm excited to jump into this.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to team up too. I've admired you for several years now, and I just think it's so cool that I get to do these little projects with you now and that you said yes. And I know I'm going to learn a lot from you, and I have learned a lot from you over the last few years. And to introduce you guys to me, my name's Alana Newman. I have two big passions in life: branding and medical ethics, health freedom. That's where Ivory and I kind of intersected because she's just such a health freedom like champion. And I have done just tons of campaigns over the years. I've worked at a think tank in New York. I've spoken at the UN. I've spoken at Ivy League universities. I've done the BBC. I had a project that was on the cover of Newsweek. Just campaigns, and I'm really good at like packaging information and kind of like interfacing with the media to capture attention so that people talk about ideas. And I love listening to smart people talk. It's my favorite thing. So I love to do interviews and build conferences and just little events so I can listen to my heroes. And so I have been really lucky with meaningful work. And it is our mission now to help you guys really maximize meaningful work. And we are limited in our time here in this realm on this earth. And so we might as well like just do life our way and make the most of it. So our first slide. So this is the Confident Messenger Workshop. Build the year where your message lands, your platform grows, and your impact actually scales. And I hope you guys have something to take notes with. This is like for you. We're going to be giving you prompts, and like, please get something to write down with if you don't right now. So this is all about you building a year that works for you and maximizes your potential. Anything on this slide that you want to add?
Just, yeah, we're going to have some little homework as we go along that you want to take notes on.
Yes.
But it'll be recorded so you can review it later if you want to ponder those questions more deeply.
Yes. So what you'll walk away with from this workshop is a visibility roadmap, your top opportunities identified, priority relationships mapped, asset gaps clarified, high leverage actions chosen, a planning framework rooted in clarity and freedom.
Amen.
Yeah, and just chime in. When I pause, Ivory, go ahead and fill it
Okay.
in. The values of this workshop, we believe in truth, big time, and freedom, big time, and clarity.
Yes, making the complex understandable.
It is quite the skill. Not a lot of people have it. And the state of 2026, one of the reasons a lot of people don't have it is because there's so much noise and different confusing messages, and they're trying to mind control you, and they're trying to change your opinion. And you don't know what's up and down and left and right. And so there's all this anxiety from bad information, noisy stuff, AI, schlop. And people, they've lost trust. We don't trust the government. We don't trust the media. Sometimes we don't even trust our own family members. But there's actually more opportunities right now, and there's opportunities for education and information disruption.
Amen. David said, make it amazing for birthday 250 America. Good point. 1776 was when the US was founded, and 2026 is going to be the big 250. So let's be big time Americans. We make our country proud, and hopefully this workshop will help with that.
There's probably good red, white, and blue clothing on sale and stuff like that for Christmas. Maybe
Oh, gift ideas.
Yep. All right. Why most public voices struggle? Well, A, they don't have a plan. They've got all these different assets scattered around, and none of them jive. They're piecemeal and don't make sense as an ecosystem. Personally, they're spread too thin. They don't have the energy to do a good job. Fear of visibility, and they're just reactive to opportunities. They're just reacting, and they don't have a process. Any other reasons why you think most public voices struggle? What are we missing?
Sometimes spread too thin, things like that, but also fear of being authentic, fear of what people think, trying to people please other people. I know that in my former industry, TV news, that's a huge one, is everyone was just terrified of getting fired if they weren't pleasing all these different people. And that's why I want to empower people in the independent space where you don't have to fear these corporate overlords.
Great point. Great point. So we believe that 2026 will reward preparation, which is why we're here. Good job, guys. You're doing it. Authority, authenticity, clarity, consistency. That one's kind of hard. And strong relationships.
Amen. And I think consistency is maybe the most important thing, which we'll get into later.
You're good at that. I need to step up my game and be more consistent like you are. So that one's probably hard. The hardest.
We'll give some tips on it.
The goal of this session is to enter 2026 with a grounded strategic plan. So you need a plan because we're all going to die. Think of all the people that you've lost the last 5 years. It hit me really hard when Charlie Kirk died. Cried for 3 days. I didn't know the guy. I know people that know him, but I never got to shake his hand or anything. So he was just shy of 33 years old, which is so young. And don't tell anybody, I'm turning 40 this summer, which is kind of a big deal for me. And I'm like, oh no, my prime. I have to make the most of my prime while I still have the energy. I have to.
Pedro says, welcome to the club. You 40 years old as well, Pedro?
With 40 comes wisdom. I hope so. I could use some of that.
I'm 36. You can pave the way into the 40s for me, Alana.
How it is from the other side.
People said fear of truth. Nicole said fear of truth. Camille echoed that. Yeah. Sometimes the truth, people are scared they can get in trouble for the truth. So that's where you got to build a better relationship with your spirit, with God, and realizing what really matters when I die. When I look back on my deathbed at my whole life, am I going to be proud of myself for standing in truth, or did I chicken out? And you got to meditate on that. And after meditating on it a lot, then maybe one day you'll be faced with a crossroads that you'll be ready for. And it's so interesting because 2019, I meditated on that so much. And I had no idea what was coming in 2020, which all the media got into this lockstep. I was in the media. It got into this narrative that was like a PR release handed down from the White House. Like, read this. Media is supposed to be the watchdog on the White House. Anyway, I had already shifted my identity to let's look at eternity. What really matters, doing what's right. And so I had shifted away from, whether I'm a TV reporter or not, no matter what people think of me, I'm going to do what's right. And I was so grounded in that because my spiritual work in 2019, that when push came to shove, I stood in truth. It ended up going viral, and it actually exploded my career to something better
Yeah.
in the independent media. And I want to help all you guys follow the same path, but it starts with a lot of spiritual reflection. So I just had to mention that, since you guys
Yes,
mentioned Year of Truth.
exactly. I'm so glad you said that. So, yeah, you just said stepping into a new identity, 2019, you did identity work, and that prepared you for this moment of truth, which was the pandemic stuff. So, I'm asking you guys, and you can actually, if you feel comfortable, write it in the chats. So, what is your 2026 identity?
Yes, write it in the chats if you can, but definitely write it in your personal notes. Maybe tape that to your wall and be like, okay, this is going to be the new identity. This is going to be the year that I actually step into being the person I'm proud of.
The person you're proud of. When I did the Courage and Health series, this word courage kept coming up. And it was like Charlie Kirk's last words, not last words, but one of the videos that kept popping up is they asked him, like, what do you want to be known for? And he said, courage for my faith.
Mm.
And so here too, like, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? Yeah.
So Nicole says, speak truth and wake people up. That's great.
Love it.
Art said, speak truth and love. I love that. There's not enough love in the independent space. I feel like, there's a way
Yeah.
to be loving and kind, but still aggressive and truthful. You can bring love into everything. Pedro said, my identity is Christ centered. There we go. Love that. Camille said, I want to be known for my strength through faith. Love that. We got
Love it.
some spiritual folks in the group.
Yeah. Get closer to God. It's,
Amen.
yeah.
Okay.
So one thing for brand, so when I work with people for branding, like when you build a brand, you're going to have to serve a customer, a client somehow, and you really would be better off liking the person that you work for. If it's a boss or a client or a customer, like it just helps a lot with all the suffering involved with hard work if you like the person. So I want you guys to ask, who do you serve? And as you build your brand, like you get to pick who your customer and client is. So who do you want that to be, or who already is it? And what's your clarity statement? So it's helpful to use this formula. I help fill in the blank, like type of person, understand or do fill in the blank so they can what? Fill in the blank.
Yeah, this might be the biggest homework question, guys. So write this down in your personal notes because you want to understand, remember why you're doing what you're doing, especially in times of confusion or questioning why you're doing it. Your mission statement of why you're doing what you're doing for whom can really help you not get distracted. Also, if this workshop is about being in the public eye. And when you're in the public eye, especially the more successful you get, people start to pull you in a million directions, like, oh, join our team, do this, do that. And it's really easy to get pulled off course from why you got into this to begin with. So I love this question that Alana brought.
Yeah, it is easy to get distracted. That's for sure. So now that you've identified who you're serving, now you need to ask, where does this person gather? Where are they? Where are they? Which conferences do they go to, if at all? What destinations do they go to? Are they hanging out at college campuses? That's what Charlie Kirk did. He wanted to speak to the youth, so he went to college campuses. If you want to reach, if you do hospice work, well, you need to go where the old and the sick are. Totally different places. If you want to, where are your people? Ivory, where are the journalists? Where do they hang out?
Where do the journalists hang out? Well, a lot of them, the successful ones, are online, but there are journalism conferences. But there's a lot at colleges. There's a lot of people going through J school, and many of them drop out after J school when they realize what the industry is like. And I'm trying to prevent that. But John here his mission is barefoot carnivore to spread the carnivore gospel. So for that one, if you want success in spreading carnivore gospel, you have to figure out your people, the ones you're going to be targeting, are people who are health conscious. And so you have to track down those people, which you can go places in person for that. There's great online locations where people who are health conscious hang as well. And you can target the people who already like meat, and you can try to convince the people who don't.
Yep. Amen. And also people like there's certain newsletters like Children's Health Defenses. I'm on their newsletter and then I get informed of like where the events are happening. And so I'm able to like show up to the event and meet people in person and like make sure you're on the right newsletter. And then the social media platforms are different. So the Telegram crowd is different than the LinkedIn crowd, which is different than the Blue Sky crowd. And it would behoove you to figure out where does your person that you like to serve, where do they spend the most time on which platform?
Mm-hmm.
And then relationship building qualifications. So there are people who can help you serve your ideal client in different ways, and they serve different roles in your life, and they help you just pursue your mission more successfully. There's amplifiers, there's collaborators, gatekeepers, industry friends, hosts, producers, bookers. And I have to share a story with you. I was recently at a conference, actually it was CHG's conference. And so I was on their newsletter. Then I got told about the conference. So I went to the conference and then there was a big celebrity there. It was really hard to have a conversation with the celebrity. But that would be the amplifier. Like I'm trying to promote the Courage and Health series. I was like, oh, this would be so great if the celebrity with all the followers promoted the series. But there was this table, this almost empty table where his assistants were, and nobody was sitting next to them. And so I went to the assistants and I started talking to them and I got their number and then I got the manager's number. And so my point is, it's like make friends with the assistants, make friends with the gatekeepers. Like, you know what I mean? There's people there that are a little more available who will also help. Anything you want to add to this, Ivory?
I just totally agree. Building relationships is key for, I think networking is key for almost any success in any line of work, but especially in, you know, gigs in the public eye. Definitely collaborating, appearing on people's platforms, or getting the contact you need through this other person who knows that person. So yeah, I built my whole career, including throughout TV, through networking, shaking hands with people, and getting meetings with different people. So it's very huge.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I'm always so impressed how like the media people can get a hold of just these people who I have found to be so difficult to get a hold of. So, honor and attract mechanism. So, this slide, what we mean to say with this is one of the ways that you can be more successful in building relationships is, instead of going to someone and having something to sell them and trying to, put them to task and ask and take, like a better way to build that relationship and that first touch point is to honor and attract them. So if you can approach them with something that adds clout for them, something that entertains them, something that increases their income, enhances their brand, amplifies their message, they're more likely to take your call. Am I right?
Absolutely. And you're in I'm thinking of it through the media and journalism space of, like, we always take this approach towards our audience. Like, how am I adding to each member's life with what I'm conveying to them? Because they're not going to engage, follow, listen to what I have to say if it adds no value to their life.
Exactly. So if, unless you have a trust fund, you probably are trying to get more clients in 2026. Think about, and in my audience, I know I have a lot of do-gooders. I have a lot of very big-hearted people, and the type of projects that we like to do are like team humanity projects. And we have big hearts, and we have big hearts for children, and we have big hearts for disabled people. And that's good. However, I see so much burnout And then there's like resentment because everybody's tired because they can't pay their light bill, but they're like doing good. And they're like, why won't anybody pay me to do all this good? And so I have matured over the years, and now I feel like we got to take care of our clients who bring in revenue first, and then we can do other missionary work. So who pays you? Who invests? Who sustains your mission? How are they best served? And then hyper focus on serving them because they're going to make everything else possible.
Yes. And I feel like some people in this space also feel guilty for making money, which needs to be that attitude needs to be thrown out the door because any other line of work, like if you went to work at McDonald's, would you feel guilty for getting a paycheck there? No, nobody wor- nobody's supposed to work for free. So don't feel guilty for getting paid for the work you do.
Yes, and I need to add to that. This is really important. So, if you study like psychologically abusive relationships, they will make you feel guilty for earning money. It's like a
Ooh,
strategy of predators. It's a
wow.
strategy, and it's to enslave you so that you can't go anywhere. Don't be a victim.
Yeah.
So, you have a big heart, most likely, because you're here. We love that. Let's talk about like revenue so that you put your own oxygen mask on first and then philanthropy. So all the gurus, what they say is like philanthropy comes second. First you make your money, then you do your philanthropy.
Nice. I know you have like big time mentors. That's what they're teaching.
Yeah, that's what they're teaching.
I love that.
That's what they're teaching. And eventually, like focus, get your oxygen mask on, but then keep in mind, like when the philanthropy part comes and it gets bigger, you can define who needs you but can't afford you. But right now, like, are you overextended? Do you resent the people who are asking you for help? What, like, do you want to live in resentment? Maybe you can have a scholarship program.
And never feel pressured to help people. I think listen to like what your heart is longing for. So 2 years ago, I heard about this charity serving people in the hospital, and something in my heart just leapt with excitement. Like I want to do that. And so I started to volunteer at the hospitals, just like very secretly to help those people while I was doing my media work. And at the time, I was feeling so burnt out in my media work. But every time I'd go to the hospital, even though that was extra work that I was doing for free, it was actually just like healing and enlivening my soul. And so there's something really powerful about philanthropy, giving back, helping others for free. And so I highly recommend you try doing it, but listen to the voice within about what area you should do that in. Don't force yourself to do something that's miserable.
I love that. Yeah, it can be energizing to give. It's a balance, It's like sometimes you need to give more, sometimes you need to create more boundaries. Sometimes like in the meantime you can tithe a little bit and then down the line you can like donate your mansion to, just give it
Mhm.
all away. It's you get to choose. Yeah. Think abundance. Yes, David.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, we do have an abundant father. Just it's important you guys write this is for you. Like you get to write down and think about like what's the sweet spot for you when it comes to philanthropy.
I think all of this media work and public eye work, there's something very spiritual to success in this area. You have to be in a really good spot in your spirit to be successful, is what I'm learning. And so I think this part about philanthropy is actually maybe a bigger key to success than people might realize because something really special happens to your spirit when you start giving back to people. And Camille, I love that you just love giving it all away. That's wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, I did commit to give 10% of the profits for Courage and Health series to 3 different nonprofits. And it was so nice getting an email back. One of the nonprofits said that it paid for a half a month's salary for the assistant. And I was like, that is awesome. That made me feel really good.
That's so neat.
Yeah, more opportunities like that. Where are the visibility opportunities? Okay, so we're changing course a little bit. So relationships, work-life balance, philanthropy, revenue, visibility. This word has been coming up all year, and people have a tough time with visibility. We hide, scary to be seen, but stages, conferences, podcast panels, media, publications, where else would it actually be healthy for you to be seen because you could get your message out?
Social media is a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into that. It's actually easier than ever to be visible. And that's when many of us realize there's something deep inside that's scared to be visible that we have to deal with.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, we've got these emotional blocks. It's like, do I feel safe being seen? Do I have fears associated with success in general? Do I have shame around my physical appearance? Will my friends and family treat me differently? I love my family, but one of the things was like, my sister's not going to be happy for me if I'm
Mm.
probably oversharing. I'll stop. But you know what I mean?
People can relate though. Yeah.
So what is this for you? It's like, and sometimes it's just a matter of doing a little makeover, which is why I love helping people with branding. It's like if we can just get the look right so that you have more confidence, then you actually show up and you share the message.
Yes. I think one thing that I like a bump in my road to success, because I had that one viral moment that brought me all kinds of new visibility. And
Yeah.
then but then there was, like, so much feedback from all different places, and it felt like I was never doing things right, and I think that's can be a visibility block to a lot of people of feeling judged, like you're gonna get more criticism if you have more visibility, and it's true that some of the most wildly successful people have a ton of criticism, but a lot of them at that point have learned to just ignore it because criticism comes with success, and it's better to have success and tune out the criticism than never see your dreams come true.
Yep. Yeah. I think naming the problem is the first step. And then you can do some inner healing or belief reprogramming. Like you got to change the way you talk to yourself about the thing.
So I would write down what in me is scared of being super visible. Like if I got like a million social media followers tomorrow, or I got my own show on national TV tomorrow or something, what would terrify me about that? Now let's prove the answer to that question wrong.
Yeah.
Let's let's write out what's actually true is that yes, I'll receive criticism, but that is minuscule compared to the opportunity to impact people, to have a successful life. And the criticism will not destroy me. It will actually just be a quiet little noise in the background because I get to decide that's what it is.
Right. You just
And then we can prove those fears wrong and solidify that in our minds. And that will help us in our day to day work not to get all this strange anxiety that comes out of nowhere. And that anxiety is coming from this place of this underlying fear of being visible.
Yeah. And the fact is, you can help a lot of people when you're visible. Like you can draw attention to good things if you've got the resource of attention.
And your point about physical appearance reminds me of when I was a TV news reporter in Kentucky. I was pretty new in my career and I was just like making ends meet, driving all over Kentucky, covering stories, eating fast food, and not feeling great about my appearance. And I was bitter at my boss at the time for not letting me go live on TV. And so one day I made the switch to like extreme responsibility. And I was gonna be like, everything's my fault. And so I decided to just be my best in all areas and prove him dead wrong that I would be the best person to be live on air. And so, and it's so funny telling this story because then in the end, being live on air is what I used to purposely burn the bridge of TV. But anyway, so I started to eat right and exercise and just give it my absolute all in my news reporting to just like no laziness, like be excellent. And so my physical look totally transformed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I look good. That added this whole new level of confidence that actually made it easier to be excellent on TV. And that summer, I actually got offered a huge jump to Minneapolis, this like massive jump in my career at the time. And it was because I took this extreme responsibility, but working on my physical appearance, it does things to your confidence. And when your confidence is high, then it's just you get this momentum that can lead to all kinds of success.
Wow. I can't imagine you being unhealthy. Like to me, that's just, you're iconically healthy. but you step into a new identity and you rise to the occasion.
Absolutely. So you guys can do that too. Feel like in 2025, people poo poo like physical appearance because it's all about like body positivity and stuff, which you should never have shame towards yourself. But it's a very good thing to work on being excellent in all areas, including
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah, it ricochets into other areas of your life for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, Ivory, the audience is at your fingertips. Tell us what that means.
Okay, yes. So the top sites and apps that people visit in 2026 are social media sites and apps. They cannot help it because they are addicted, you guys. Everyone's addicted to social media. 73% of the US population is on social media. That is 253 million people. Pew Research reports that 53% of Facebook users get their news from Facebook. 55% of TikTok users get their news from TikTok. People are getting all their information on social media. So, like I said, it's never a better time than now to get out there and visible online. Yeah, like it's great to go to these conferences and everything, but it's all right at your fingertips on your phone now. Okay, next slide.
Well, here we go. Okay.
Okay, unleashing your visitability online. So, this is your opportunity to make America's social media addiction a healthy one by informing and empowering them with the info that you bring. Do you have an expertise that your friends often come to you for advice about? Do you have an obsession with researching a particular topic? Well, chances are that going public with that info could help a lot of people. So some of you feel this urge to do these things in the public eye. That's why you're in this workshop. If you can just reflect on what you're really good at right now or what you're really passionate about researching right now, that is the thing to start posting online about because you're getting help from this info or it's info you've used your whole life that has helped you. Why not infiltrate people's social media addiction with something that is helpful to them? Start posting this stuff online. And that's going to be your first audience is online and you're going to snowball from there. When you're You know what? I just saw who's that girl? Isabella, the social media influencer. She now has over 1 million followers on Instagram. I'm forgetting her last name. Oh, Brown. Isabella Brown. So she, I remember I was told to follow her back when she had 20,000 followers. She was on a mission. She was posting on social media every day. She wasn't appearing on TV. She was just doing really simple social media posts from her living room, talking about the topics she was passionate about. She was so consistent. I watched her. This was a few years ago, 4 years ago now. From 20,000, she grew to 1 million followers this year
Wow.
through consistent posting. And today, turned on Fox News, there she was being interviewed by Fox News as an expert, as, a thought leader
Yeah.
on Fox News because she proved, she didn't have to go clamoring to Fox, like, please take me seriously. I'm really smart about these things. She proved it through naturally attracting the audience online,
Mhm.
and it opened all kinds of doors for her. Not to mention, when you have that many followers, it's a full time cash cow. Like that many followers, you're making bank on social media. And it's one of the things I teach in my course is how to make a
Nice.
lot of money once you grow the following. Okay, next slide.
Money is energy. Just think of all the good things you can do with money, you know?
Amen. We want it in the hands of good people. Tips for growing your social media audience. And I go into a lot of this in my course, but I'm going to give some of this info to you for free today. And I love what this filmmaker posted. I'm sharing some slides from his post. It says I only got 100 views. Well, that's what 100 views actually looks like in person. 100, that's 100 real people. You got to realize with your low view count that's a human soul you're touching
Yeah.
with your post. So just because every post doesn't go viral or it's only 100 views, that's 100 people your post impacted. Then I only got 1,000 views. That's what 1,000 people looks like. And I only got 20,000 views. That is a whole stadium of people. When you're building up your success, you better believe that this Isabella girl I just mentioned, she was not, having a viral post every day, especially when you start out. It feels like really slow going. but this work online snowballs over time when you stay consistent with it. But one thing that can help you stay consistent when you're seeing low views is that remembering that each view is a human soul. And
Yeah.
this picture right here helps you realize that.
Yeah, I love this picture.
Oh, Michael has a question.
Yes.
If one has important messages to share on social media, for example, say around holistic healing, but are concerned sharing a video or infographic could go viral with reposting and attract people of a wide spectrum of awareness onto one's email list and as social media followers, lowering the average degree of fit as a result, what can one do to prevent this?
Great question.
You mean, okay, so you're trying to target a very specific customer, you're saying, or audience member, and it going viral is gonna attract people who are a bad fit for your stuff? That's what you mean? Well, I mean, that will of course happen, and it's not something to worry about because the people who are a bad fit will naturally realize they're a bad fit or this isn't totally their thing. Am I right, Alana?
Well, there's different like schools of thought. So I am evolving on this kind of question. And I have certainly, like, I don't want to deal with people who aren't my tribe. I don't want to have to be harassed by them. I don't want them to be like, you're wrong. And so that's one of the reasons why I did the Courage and Health series, was because I knew that if I had like Ivory's audience would be like, I would love serving and talking to Ivory's audience. Peter McCullough, like, I know that his people are like cool people that I would love to serve. But like, I don't think other famous people, even if they like flood, like, even if a ton of people signed up, like, I don't think I'd want to deal with them. So you get to make choices in terms of curation. I'll tell you, Alex Hormozy, who's like on his way to being a billionaire and he's got all sorts of cool projects. Like, I'm keeping up with his strategies for social media, and his strategy is to do like really deep, long YouTube videos where you go really intensely into kind of like a geeky subject that only like a few people are into. And the people it's not a good fit for will check out. And so you've got this like distilled audience of people who are way more likely to go on to like buy his stuff, because the reason he's on social media is because he wants to increase sales and income. And so there's a lot of like broke influencers who they like cast the net really wide, and it's like all entertainment and they get a whole bunch of views, but it's like it was just it's like vanity attention. So I'm kind of leaning more towards that. Like, but then there's other people who say, you know, if you cast a wide net, then you're going to make more sales, more brand deals. I think for our crowd, you gotta manage your energy, and you have to manage your stress levels and experiment. Just experiment. Was that satisfactory?
I guess I get what you mean, like, even for this event right here, like, we didn't want trolls coming into the Zoom, right?
No.
Writing nasty stuff or whatever. But and that's something that can always happen, it's possible, but I've always had this belief that I'm a good person doing good things with kindness. I'm not trying to hurt anyone, and I see all humans as, like, valuable, good people. So a lot of people are, like, really, you know, I know there's this huge thing of like Democrats want to crush Republicans, Republicans want to crush Democrats. And like my bio says that love comes first. And I just respect people from every walk of life. And so I'm kind to Democrats and Republicans, regardless of where my views are at. And I believe that kindness attracts kindness. And so it's something that I don't really worry about. I just really strongly believe, and I'm a very spiritual person. I believe that you attract things according to your faith, and what you believe is going to happen happens. And that's been my case. Like, I occasionally get trolls and rude people in unfortunate situations, but it is very minimal, and this event is turning out very smooth. You know, I posted about it, and Alana did, to a wide audience of whoever. So haters could show up. And there's people who disagree with me who could have showed up. Tons of people disagree with me. But what happens is people who disagree with you get tired of following stuff they disagree with, and they actually just stop following you and don't even see your posts. So I think it's very important to just not worry about the haters when you're posting, just believe in your post going viral. It deserves to go viral and it'll reach the right people. And just believe that the haters are going to get drowned out by the people who agree with your stuff. And that's been my case.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Okay, so let's tackle how to grow now that we've cut down our visibility blocks and we are ready to go viral after all. We're going to tackle all of the key platforms here. Growing on Facebook, since Facebook is still the number one platform that people in the world use, it is the OG. Make sure your profile is public for yourself. Facebook, it's a big one where, people do. Facebook started with private profiles, but now we're in an era where we go public. So make sure your profile is public and post daily. Consistency is so important if you want to grow an audience. I can't overstate this. And I had a mentor when I first went independent told me this about YouTube. And I got to test out how serious his tip was on that. When I stopped posting on YouTube daily, boy, did I see the audience fall off. So anywhere that you want to grow, post daily. Pictures with compelling captions are what works really well on Facebook right now. Facebook, all the platforms, they do these algorithm shifts of like, well, we really want you to post this way. So right now, if you just post one picture, you could do a slideshow, but one picture works really well with a caption, no link. If you have a link to share, put it in the comments. That's just how Facebook's algorithm works right now. Memes work fantastic on Facebook. It's probably the best place to share memes. Memes might be the fastest way to grow on Facebook. Back when I was at Fox, actually, Fox is really into social media. That's one thing they're doing right because social media is the future. And they had this leaderboard on the wall in our newsroom showing who was doing the best on social media, which TV personality is going the most viral. And at the time, like all the pretty girls on Fox, it was easiest for us to do really successful because we post a pretty picture and everyone likes and comments. And then there's like these 50-year-old men who've been doing great investigative reporting, but they're not pretty to look at. And they're like,
Oh.
what do I post? My daily report's not doing very well. So this one guy, my coworker, he was like, I'm just going to start posting daily memes. So he would find these funny memes and start reposting them. He shot to the top instantly on the leaderboard because people love to laugh. So whatever genre you're tackling, like this one guy in our comments who's focusing on the carnivore diet, there's all kinds of memes that you can find or make. There's great meme making apps that you can make funny memes about being carnivore. You can write captions. So the meme captures people's eye, and then you can add some actually meatier details in your caption. And so that is how you can grow
But,
social media, and people can laugh and get informed. Facebook's great for that. Also, just the color box written captions on Facebook with thought-provoking questions work so well. It's very simple to do.
oh, yeah.
What's a question I'm pondering this week? Or what's a question that people, like my relative asked me this week that stumped me? Let me ask it to my Facebook audience, and people will just engage with that question. And all it is a written question. So it's really simple to grow on Facebook if you do it the right way. Facebook does currently pay for all of your posting.
I did not know this.
Oh man, Facebook's doing well with the pay. I think they're like trying to make up for the fact that they screwed people over so hard in the pandemic.
Oh, yes, they did screw me over. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm literally scratching my head right now. My
Yeah.
goodness.
So they deleted so many people's profiles and they lost a lot of popularity. I don't know if that's why, but right now they're paying creators for any post if your audience is big enough. I mean, if you're a new influencer with a tiny audience, they might pay you pennies. But once you grow bigger, you will start to get paid in the hundreds and so on, including your stories. So, like Insta stories, Facebook has stories now too. You post simple uploads about your day, and Facebook, if you swipe up on the analytics of that story, it'll show exactly how much Facebook is going to pay you this month for that story. So you posted 10 stories in one day because they're so easy to post that you get paid for all 10 of those. So
Wow.
this is the thing. If you grow your audience, that's just one of the many ways you can get paid online.
Right.
Keep at it.
Learn something new. That's awesome. All right, let's do Instagram.
Growing on Instagram, post daily. Number one thing, if you want to grow, you have to be posting every day. If you're posting once a week and you're wondering why you're stagnant, well, that's why. When you post daily, you still might stay stagnant for a month, and then you have one post that goes really viral, or you might slowly grow over that month's time. But posting daily is the number one way that people have success on Instagram and honestly all social medias. IG's algorithm currently favors new creators. This is a wonderful era in Instagram.
Let's go.
It used to be the algorithm would share your posts with the people who follow you. Now it shares your posts with anyone if the algorithm has noticed that your post was interesting to the first few people who saw it. So, if you scroll through Instagram, you'll see suggested posts. These are posts from people that you don't even follow, they're in your feed. The reason they're in your feed is those posts were really interesting to a lot of other people who engaged with the post, commenting, liking, sharing, and the algorithm detected that's an interesting post. And so it sent that post viral to all kinds of people who don't even follow the person. That's your goal. What you want to do on Instagram is create content that's so interesting that it starts being fed out to all kinds of people's Instagram feeds who don't even follow you. They'll find that post interesting. Maybe it's a post that answers a big question a lot of people have. And so they're like, oh my gosh, someone's found. Actually, an example is there were questions about weather modification. Some people wonder if it's real. So I did a simple post last week showing how you can easily Google and look up real government reports on weather modification in real time. It's so simple to do, and it actually answered a basic question for people about whether weather modification is even real. Turns out it's very easy to prove that it is. And that post went so viral, and I got a bunch of new followers from it because it was answering a simple question that people had about a controversial news story. So as a news reporter, those are the sorts of posts that I do, but find, what is something that can really simply answer people's questions, make it engaging. You post that. And Instagram, it's never been a better time to grow your audience because now the post will go through the feeds of the people who don't even follow you. So you want to do a combination of Instagram Reels, which are little short videos, 3 minutes or less of you talking on camera about a situation. That's what I did with the weather modification story. And also doing photo slideshows with captions. Instagram allows you to upload a series of photos and write captions on each photo to help tell a story in a visual way. And Instagram has been pushing those carousels is what they're called, big time. I've had some of my carousels go very viral and get a bunch of new followers from that. So those are the two main things that Instagram likes to see you post. And with everything that you're posting, always think, how does this post serve someone? So sometimes you can get self-absorbed about, well, this post is interesting to me, or, this topic helps whatever special interest that is important to me. And so that special interest is going to like your post, but is the average viewer going to benefit from it? So always think, how is this going to serve someone? So for the carnivore diet guy, comment section.
Talking to you, Jen.
Yeah. So is that your friend, Alana?
Yeah,
Shout
I
out.
love Jen.
Shout out to John. No, I love meat too. I love meat and veggies. So think, how is this going to help people who are trying to decide what to eat? How about some of your posts, you can approach it from like, this post is going to reach people who've never considered carnivore, or maybe people who are against meat. And so for this post, we want to try to persuade them to maybe think about the possibility that meat might be good. And in other posts, you might just be preaching to the choir. But if your post comes with this tone of like, well, carnivore is just the way it is, don't ask any questions, then you might not get those new followers who are thinking about it or unsure. So always think from the end of when the audience sees this post, how are they going to receive it? And that, think from the end before you even make the post, and that'll help you figure out how to construct the post in a way that will be received. And very importantly, open with a hook, the most thought-provoking tidbit. You need to grab their attention in the first 3 seconds. So if you are posting an Instagram reel, one of those short videos, the first 3 seconds need to be very interesting. Don't start your first 3 seconds of a video by taking a big breath and saying, because most people scroll through. People are just scrolling. I mean, you can look at your relatives on their phones. They're just zipping through with their thumb. And so you got to grab them so that they stop their scroll. So if you hit record on something and talked it through, you play it back and you're pausing, breathing, you're wasting people's time with a pause, just edit that out. And I teach you in my course how to edit. But, and Alana and I have so many more tips beyond this workshop. But if you can just grab them in a concise way, just know that the first 3 seconds of your video are very important. And if it's a still post like a slideshow, then that first caption on the slideshow needs to be super gripping with an interesting headline.
Yep.
So those are some of the keys for Instagram. Growing on XX growth.
That's good.
Tweet throughout the day, every day for fastest growth. You want to make multiple tweets. Tweets are typically the best tweets are short and sweet anyway, so they don't need to eat up a bunch of your time. Pick a genre, current affairs, health topics, etc., and share your thoughts throughout the day within that genre. So people will see thought-provoking little sentences that you're writing or things that you're sharing, and as they see this theme throughout those sort of topics that you post, they'll follow you for those particular topics. If you can post like all over the place about like, your personal life and then political news and then like the weather, but I think your growth will be slowed if you're all over the place. So pick a particular genre.
This goes back to who do you serve?
Yeah. And then share research and news updates in original tweets that you've written. Do not retweet other people, but do quote tweet other people.
Amen to that one.
When people click on a profile that's just full of retweets, they're not going to follow you. And they're going to be, let's say this person doesn't have any thoughts of their own because they're only retweeting someone else. But if you see someone's tweet that's interesting, that causes you to think of something else, well, then quote tweet it and add your own thoughts on top of that person's thoughts. People do love to follow people who do that. They want to see engaging conversation and they want you to inform them about something that they didn't know.
That's something to add to this. So if you find a thought leader that you love, adore, put an alarm bell on their post so that you get notified and then be the first person to comment and make it brilliant.
That is a growth strategy.
Big time.
When you have the most interesting comment in someone else's post, people will read your comment and go follow you. So that's a great strategy. Okay. Growing on YouTube. Now, this is the other cash cow. So Facebook pays, YouTube pays even more. You got to post daily, though, and you're not going to get paid until you get like a good number of thousands of followers on YouTube. So post daily. The algorithm will pump you out to more people if you're posting every single day. And also, people will start to expect your YouTube videos and look forward to them every day and start to feel like you're the friend they never met if you're posting every single day. So the Pew Research that I cited earlier, it said that 84% of Americans that they surveyed said that they watch YouTube videos. That's an insane amount of people who go to YouTube daily, and they're looking for the next person who is just down to earth sharing information that's helpful. So that can be you. Posting daily feels like a burnout. I'm showing you all these platforms, but I want you to pick one, maybe two that's your favorite and really zone into that. For me, Instagram is my favorite, and that's, what do you know, the place that I've grown the most because I just enjoy posting there naturally. So I post there more, and posting there more has caused me to grow there faster. But YouTube, if you want to post there every day, there's a huge opportunity to grow. You can start with short videos. Yeah, do some YouTube shorts, which are 3 minutes or less, and they're the vertical videos, but definitely do the horizontal ones daily, at least one daily of the horizontal longer videos. You can make it only 5 minutes, share some insights. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're someone who's obsessed with researching a particular topic, chances are that these 330 million other Americans out there and 8 billion people around the world are also interested. There's a good number of them who are interested in that topic too. They don't have the time that you've already researched. So if you just share what you've learned in a short little YouTube video, 5 minutes a day, they're going to really appreciate that. You're going to be adding value to someone. And some of your friends and family around you may say, oh, well, look at this maniac thinking they're going to be a YouTuber. Tune that noise out, tune out the criticism. You are doing a public service to someone who didn't have time or know where to get that info, and you're sharing it with people and helping them. So go do the YouTube video, make a difference. Stick with an info theme for your channel. News, health, entertainment, finance, relationships. Those are the primary 5 information themes for YouTube channels that have been extremely successful. So if you want to start a health YouTube channel and just post about the latest health news or new research findings in health, do that every day, you will grow. You will have great success. There's endless people who want more info within that genre. I skipped the point about your thumbnail and your video title are the most important thing on YouTube. They are the reasons that people will either click or ignore your YouTube video, because YouTube videos don't autoplay. When you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, the video automatically starts playing. On YouTube, it doesn't. So your thumbnail needs to be really interesting. You can hire a cheap thumbnail editor or learn to edit thumbnail graphics. I have those resources for you. And write a short headline about what it's about, make the headline interesting. That's make or break on YouTube. And then you do need to avoid censorship, because censorship is still pervasive on YouTube. Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, has gotten so much better with censorship. Zuckerberg is trying to please Trump right now by laying off the censorship, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful time as a content creator, because your videos and your posts are not getting taken away. But on YouTube, stuff is still getting censored. And avoiding censorship is something that I teach in my course training as well.
I'd love to learn more about how to avoid censorship. I got my hand slapped and they made me do like a little mini course because I posted a video about cancer, holistic cures to cancer. They do not want you to heal.
Cancer's a big one, yeah. YouTube censors cancer stuff like crazy. My mom was recently censored for that too.
Right.
Okay, growing on TikTok. Post daily, extremely important. If you can post multiple TikToks a day, you'll grow even faster. Stay authentic and down to earth. TikTok's algorithm loves authenticity and imperfection. That's something I want to drive home for you guys. When you first start going out visibly, you're going to like pick yourself apart and be like, oh, my voice sounds weird, or I wasn't like perfect or professional enough. And no, people don't want some uptight, like presidential person. They want like a down to earth friend online who makes mistakes too. You do not have to be perfect to be successful. You can be far from perfect to be successful. So just keep at it and you'll get more comfortable with social media as you go along. But just stay authentic. TikTok's algorithm actually like detects that stuff. Grab people's attention the first 3 seconds. It's just like Instagram Reels, highly important. Use an on-screen headline that stops people scroll. So if you are doing one of those vertical TikTok videos, write a headline about what you're talking about so that people can read what it's all about. And just stopping to read that headline will actually stop people scroll and get them to watch for the first 3 seconds. And the algorithm detects those first 3 seconds. If you get past that, if you get people to watch even for 5 seconds, the algorithm will start pumping it out to more people, and you'll have some better success. So get that headline up there. With TikTok, you can use trending audio and CapCut templates. CapCut is an app created by the creators of TikTok with all kinds of resources, video editing, but they also have a lot of fun templates that you can put your video into and make something really creative and fun. And TikTok will promote that because they love to promote their own product, CapCut. So play around with that. Trending audio is another way to reach new eyeballs, because everyone's clicking on that audio and they'll see your video that did its own take on that audio. So play with that as well. Definitely try to avoid censorship. TikTok is the worst place for censorship. It's pervasive. A few years ago, my main TikTok account got deleted by TikTok for covering verified news. It was just verified news that the Chinese owners didn't like. And so
I have to add a story. I got my TikTok banned recently because literally the video, Ivory, the video I said, 30-second video, I said, Charlie Kirk accepted money from the wrong people. Deleted. So you have to figure out like who owns the platform and what do they care about.
Yes, and I teach a bunch of tricks on avoiding censorship, but one simple one I'll give you is that if you're about to post about something that you wonder if this platform even allows you to post about, just do a search of that topic. For instance, weather modification. I was like, well, I don't know if YouTube or TikTok is going to allow weather modification stories. I just searched weather modification on those platforms and I saw that there were, in fact, a bunch of weather modifications already there. So then I knew those platforms are going to allow my video too. Now, if you search for something and there's no videos about that, there's a reason. They've been deleting all of them. And that doesn't mean you can't post about that topic, but you need to switch up your wording and talk about the topic in a way that doesn't have you voice the keywords that the censor bots are looking for to delete your video. And we teach more of that in my course training.
You are a genius. That is genius. All right.
Okay, why the audience takes your info seriously. You bring the receipts, you cite your sources, you show photo evidence, you dig up the documents, you get the interview. When you do these are just 5 of the main things that you can do to be taken very seriously, especially in this era when people's trust is lower than ever. I mean, I look at people on the right don't even trust other people on the right. Nobody trusts each other anymore. But when you bring the receipts and you show like, well, here's the study in there, or like here's the court document that I retrieved from the district courts about what actually happened in that criminal case, then it's like, oh, okay, this person is legit and they're not just making this up out of thin air, and you're showing what you have, or you actually track down the person in question and interview them and like show people what this person is really saying instead of the rumors about that person. These are just some of the ways that you can be taken seriously. When you do this early on, this can really help you. I know one of my journalism students is in Texas, and there was that big flooding, terrible storm and river flooding last summer. And so this student of mine went to the flooding scene to actually shoot cell phone video and post it on TikTok and show people what really happened there. And that adds a ton of credibility, especially when you're new and your following is lower, for people to actually say, oh, this person's out there doing the work, bringing the receipts. So that's a big way to be taken seriously.
Awesome.
Okay, Alana.
Digital asset checklist. So if you guys are going to be online and you're trying to make a living, you need to fill out your bio. You need to have offers. So a lot of the do-gooders, we give and we give and we give, and we don't have anything at all for sale. And I think with what you're doing, Ivory, you do a great job of like aligning with products that have affiliate links. You can create your own digital products like a course. You can create your own digital products like PDF downloads, ebooks. You can even just go like consulting time. Like there's like cal.com and you can like sell an hour of your time, ask me anything for this. There's so many different ways to make money online, but like you just need to take a day and like figure out what those offers are. Lead magnets, what that means is like something of value that people are willing to exchange their email address for. I have worked with some speakers who they will, everybody loves what they have to say and they have a lot of attention and they're they're the heroes of the moment and they're on all the news stations, but they're like, they don't capture anybody's email address. And then after they ride the wave of attention, they don't have anything to show for it. So please get yourself something that people are willing to exchange their email address for so you can build your email list and keep in touch with everybody. If you can get a signature talk and get it filmed and like up on YouTube or like have the thing that everybody knows you for, you're in good shape. You need updated photos. Like we want to see how you look now, not how you looked when you were 18 and skinny. Like media, if the media reaches out to you, do you have like one page where you've got your headshot, your links, your bio, like the summary of your talk? Do you have all this stuff put together already? Because preparation, 2026 will reward people who are prepared. And then do you have a visual identity? Meaning, like, are you recognizable? Are you constantly changing the way you look and constantly changing the way your social media looks so people aren't even really sure if it's you or not? And they like try to find you, but they can't because you're not consistent. So, or did you want to say anything about that?
No, you got it. I don't want this to run too long. I know we've got so much to say.
I know we're talkers. I'm a talker. All right, high leverage activities. So when you're planning your 2026, there's only so many hours in a day. Like focus on the things that will get you where you want to go faster. And so for a lot of people, that's skill acquisition. We're talking about like what platform do you need to learn? What software do you need to learn? What would make you more high value? Who do you need to collaborate with? Like I made a conscious choice to reach out to Ivory to collaborate with her. And I'm having a great time. How about you guys? You having a good time? Yes.
Absolutely. You have some of these skills with some of the tech that is so fantastic. And then I used my skills with like viral posts, and together that's how the Courage and Health series went so well. So I'm really people that can like fill in blanks where you're weaker and then your strengths complement each other. That's so huge. But also, yeah, education and skill acquisition, like investing in training is so important. I just saw this guy who he thought he got a great he was just posting about this, that he found that he was very interested in email marketing, and he landed some jobs doing email marketing for different companies while he was in college, and he just found email marketing to be fun, but he wasn't very good at it and he really wanted to grow. So he said he in an $11,000 marketing training from
Uh,
some of the people who are rocking and rolling in the industry. And he's like, I knew that would force me to be successful, to take this ultra seriously and make it happen. Well, 2 years after investing in that, he's a millionaire and has 50 staffers, and he's fresh out of college because he invested in that skill acquisition
Good for him.
Yeah.
I want to be a millionaire. Let's do this, guys. 2026. Right. Yeah. So education, monthly collaboration, quarterly conferences. I don't know why I put quarterly, just like conferences, distant message positions, like media production. These are the high leverage activities. Like when you make video, when you go on social media, you're introducing yourself to people while you sleep. So that's a high leverage activity. You reach more people than just going to the coffee shop and trying to shake hands and meet people at the coffee shop because it works for you in your sleep. And then asset and talent acquisition. What are the assets? Like you can actually go, I just found this out. You can buy a TikTok that already has thousands of people. You
Yes.
can,
But the issue is like, are those people that are going to be interested in what you're going to post about?
no,
Or
that's true. But you can then start a TikTok shop and start selling on TikTok shop, which I'm not saying people do. It's probably a bad example, but like if you wanted to start a TikTok shop, you could buy a TikTok that already had thousands of people. So you cross that threshold. And so then you would be allowed to. You can buy email lists. You can buy, like, if you're in real estate, you can buy like, what's it called? Like when people divorce, and like when people die, there's like lists in the courts, and they like publish these lists, and you can buy them. And so like you can buy lead lists, and there's like assets that you can buy, leads. Yeah,
journalists. Here we go.
yeah. So what are the high leverage activities where if you were to acquire that thing, and maybe it's talent, maybe like if you were to find a social media manager, or if you were to find a bookkeeper, or if you were to find like a headshot photographer or something, that would be a high leverage activity that just like boom.
Mhm. Amen. Like when I hired my thumbnail editor for YouTube, that was huge. Little things like that.
There you go. Okay, so here we are, your first 90 days. It's coming up. Here's your homework. Write it down. If I only focus on these 3 things, everything else would rise. What is that for you guys? And you can put it in the chat.
My tip is one thing I would tell you to do is focus on posting something online every day. Challenge yourself that in 90 days you're going to make 90 posts.
Yeah, just give yourself 90 days and just test it.
Yes. If I focus on these 3 things, making videos on YouTube, there you go. And like maybe for YouTube, it's more overwhelming because that's a longer video than like a TikTok. But challenge yourself starting out. Like for the first 30 days, it's going to be 1 YouTube a week. For the next 30 days, it's going to be 3 YouTubes a week. And for the final 30 days, it's going to be all 5 work days I'm doing a YouTube, something like that. But just create this 90-day plan specific to your vision for 2026.
Yes, and if you're like, that's too much, well, maybe you actually need to edit. So now ask yourself, if I removed these things, these bad habits, then I'd be able to focus on the things that matter. What are those 3 things? Or what are those 10 things that if you removed them, your life would get better? What if you
You're like,
removed
"Oh my gosh, well, I get home from work and I watch TV for 5 hours before bed." Well, maybe, but then you're like, "But TV helps me unwind. I'd be strung out without it." Okay, well, try shortening TV to, like, 1 hour
Yeah,
at night, and then you can have those other hours to work on your YouTube or s
exactly. Exactly. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Are people bringing you down?
Yeah.
Are they poo-pooing everything that you try to do to move yourself forward with your goals? Well, stop spending so much time with those people.
Yeah, or don't tell them your dreams so that you don't have to deal with them shooting you down.
Man, that's huge.
All right. Would you guys like to hear what Ivory and my plans are for 2026?
We got some plans. Pedro's ready to hear it.
Pedro said yes. Amanda says yes. Nicole says
Yeah.
yes. Michael's like, sure. All right.
We got some plans that might involve you if you want.
Awesome. Okay, we're so excited. We are so excited. So if you're ready to be a true confident messenger with accelerated production of all the necessary assets, we are inviting you to Las Vegas.
Let's go to Vegas, everybody.
And we're going to dance with Elvis. At least I am. That's my goal. We're hosting a real girls, a 3-day workshop, April 13th through 15th. Are you excited? Does that sound fun?
Excited. This is going to be a blast.
It's going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm like giddy. All right. So day one, guess we're kind of girly. Just work. It's good. It's a good thing. God made us this way. The day one, we're going to go shopping. This is part of the
Color
branding.
matching to optimize authority
Yes.
is Alana's expertise.
Well, I don't know if you have the fashion brand. This is not my expertise
That-
compared to
that's
you.
true. And elevating, like I said, my story of elevating my look in Kentucky.
Yes.
It was huge for it had ripple effects for my confidence,
Yeah.
for my visibility blocks, for just people around me taking me seriously. So the shopping day, I think, is actually going to be, a bigger key to people's career success.
It's deep. Like people blow it off. It's so deep. Clothing is like, it has to do with relationships, who you attract, self-respect. It's powerful. And we're going to go through, we're going to like get you your color match so that you're actually wearing the colors that you're supposed to, so that you actually look good on camera. I'm excited about this day. We're going to go to Nordstrom. If you don't like the outfit later, you can return it. Don't tell anybody, but you'll have the support and you'll have people be like, yes, no, that's like, you know what I mean? You'll have support. So I'm excited about this day. Days 2 through 3 is the presentations. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to deliver your signature talk, and it's going to be like a dress rehearsal for future stages, a dress rehearsal conference. So you are going to be like stepping into the identity of someone who gets invited to conferences and can like rock it. You're going to have a microphone. There's going to be an audience. We're going to take pictures of you speaking with a microphone in front of an audience so that, I'm a conference organizer. I'm a podcast host. Like I organize events. It's just like you're so much more likely to get invited to conferences and stages and podcasts and TV news when there's like automatic proof that you've done it before. Like if someone sees a picture of you talking with a microphone in front of an audience, they're vetted.
This is for your social proof.
Instantly. So like it's going to be powerful. And then, but we'll also we're going to have feedback, constructive, helpful, supportive feedback. And we'll have like video so you guys can do keynote, like PowerPoint, have it up there. It's going to be beautifully filmed. So it'll be like high production and we're going to make you look like $1,000,000.
Yeah. So you can go home with a high quality full video of your speech.
Yep.
Cut social media clips of it, have it uploaded on your website or whatever you would like to do with it. But will be your safe space to break the ice into this next level.
So powerful on your website. Oh man. Yep. And so like what you get at the live workshop, like we said, sizzle reel. So you have the long high production video of your like signature talk, your TED talk. We're going to like have really well branded little sizzle reel of you, professional headshots. Yeah, I already said all this. And then we're going to do some inspirational, helpful talks too. It'll be fun.
Linda is asking if we have no clue how to edit video. Is this easy to learn or do you recommend we hire someone? So we'll go home with the edited video of the
Yeah,
full video. But if you want to cut down clips I do teach in my course video editing 101, and I have resources of video editors that you can hire. I have some great ones. You can hire them on a project by project basis if you want. Doesn't cost too much. So we have resources for you.
Yes, you will.
Neil says it's easier than you think.
We're
She's
going to
great, of course. Okay, thanks, Camille.
I just wanted to add with the video editing comment, we're going to both fish for you and deliver the fish and teach you how to fish, if that makes sense.
Exactly. We got you guys. We got your back.
All right. So we're going to build a press kit with instant credibility. So part of all this, we're going to build your social proof. The cohort that goes to this, we're all going to send each other testimonials. So it's so powerful when you're on your website or social media, when you have like testimonials of people who have experienced your message, who've experienced the life-changing information that you share. Testimonials are really powerful. So we're going to gather those, all the assets. You can own the IP. It will go on your website. We're going to help you with your communication skills. I've been on some pretty big stages, and we got you. We're going to help you get over those little blocks and barriers in a really supportive environment and get still shots of you also on stage. So you'll have the video and lots of stills. All right. And then, so also what we're going to do is we're going to help you adopt new subconscious beliefs. So one of the things with visibility is we have all these mental blocks. So the new subconscious beliefs, and there will be more, but these are just some examples of what we're going to work on. Visibility is rewarding. Being vulnerable builds connection. Great style makes me look good on camera. Strangers appreciate my message. There's room for me in the world. I am a good communicator. We're stepping into an identity of you being the confident messenger. And we just get those skills, get those assets. And then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, I really am a confident messenger.
Amen.
Amanda, you say, thank you. Is there a link to your course besides the Vegas weekend? Yes, we're getting there. We're getting there. Pre-event support. So before you get to Vegas, you are going to have a goal setting intensive with me. You're going to get 3 months VIP access to brand therapy. That's my school community. You're going to get 3 months VIP access to Ivory's news influencer program. So Amanda.
That's the course I've been mentioning throughout. So if you're going to Vegas with us, you will get the whole training in the lead up to Vegas. You'll get the whole course. In addition to Alana's whole course, which has all these amazing things that my course doesn't have.
Yeah. My promise with the VIP access to brand therapy is I'm making sure that when you get to Vegas, you have everything that you need so that you don't flap at the dress rehearsal. I'm going to actually help you with slide deck design too. My husband's like a world-class slide deck designer and actually does, he helped Steve Jobs with his slide decks. And this is going to make you just with the visual communication. It just helps. And it's really nice to lean on a good slide deck, especially when you get nervous on stage.
Yes.
All right. Post-event support. You're going to get the high production videos. You're going to get the headshots. We're going to deliver it promptly. You're not going to have to wait 6 months. It'll be fast as lightning. You're going to get testimonials from your peers so that you can use on your website. And then in May, we're going to have an accountability reunion, and we're going to make sure that you're implementing the assets that you got.
Woohoo.
A lot of people, they'll take things 90% and then they get scared and they don't actually launch it.
It happens so much. We'll help you through it. You won't be one of those.
And so the question is, what is the investment? You guys ready for the investment?
Drum roll.
All right. We are rewarding action takers. So if you commit to coming to Vegas before 2026, you get help with the price. It goes from $9,997 to $8,997, $8,997 US dollars. We are rewarding all indecisiveness because life rewards all indecisiveness. I mean, it's really life that rewards this. So if you pay in full before 2026, then you get another discount, and it's only $7,997. But we are confident that this investment is going to make you so much more down the line. You're a millionaire. He invested in himself, and 2 years later, he was a millionaire.
That's so true. The guy, the guy I mentioned who bought an $11,000 training. Yeah. And you got us having your backs the whole time. That's huge. You can shoot questions off of us the whole time. And I love to elevate my students and share their stuff.
Yeah. Ivory is someone who actually cares. I've been following her for 5 years, and you want people who actually care. And she does. And I think I do. Just be nice, and I'll make sure that you shine. But I know everybody in here is like-minded, and I'm 100% confident that you guys, your message does need to be seen and heard. If you're in this room, then you have a message that's going to save lives. I know that. And I want you to have the confidence to be able to go do that work. It is emotional, it's spiritual, it's kind of hard, but I think it's worth it. We only have 24 spots available. We can't take everybody. And this video is going out to thousands of people. So I got so many emails and texts from people saying they wanted to come, but they had prior commitments. Is there a recording? So we're recording it and we're going to send it out. But you guys have an advantage here actually being able to show up to the call because we only have 24 spots. So you can reserve it now at this website, speaker.salon/confident messenger Vegas. And
Oh yeah, reserving your seat is $9.97.
yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat. So you can click on that link. To reserve your seat, it's only $9.97. And that guarantees your spot. And again, the price goes up January 1st by $1,000. So if you act quickly, you will be rewarded and you'll be guaranteed a spot. So please consider joining us in Las Vegas. It's April 13th through 15th. You can check your calendar. This is the perfect time to be in Vegas because it's not too hot. I just want to point that out. Like, you couldn't pick a better time to go to Vegas.
Again, it's not just that weekend. You are getting the 3-4 months leading up to it. And both of our courses and trainings and us prepping you throughout those months. And then the aftermath to make sure that you are successful in 2026.
The implementation, that's the thing. Yes.
So when do the courses begin? So my next class of students will be for news influencers, going to be January 19th. So you're going to be in with that class if you're going to Vegas with us. You just get that. You get to be a part of that, which means I'll be checking in with my students weekly starting January 19th. But if you're doing this, I'm going to get you access to the course, with your first payment. So that's how it works on my end.
Awesome. Yes. And this is the page we had for your course. So the news influencer course is available at freepresscourse.com. And then my group is called Brand Therapy. Thank you, John. Yes. So school.com/Alana, that's my brand therapy group. So you'll get VIP access to that. You'll get VIP access to Ivory's course. This is all going to prepare you for Vegas, and it's going to be fun the whole time. And I know it's late, that this is the last slide. We hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I'm going to send out an email of this recording. You'll get all the links in an email tomorrow. And let's see. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We hope to see you in Vegas. If not, we hope that you took some powerful information from tonight to implement right away in your visibility journey in 2026. But Vegas, we can't wait for that. And we hope to see you guys there.
Yay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Camille says time to go forage for cash. Let's go. I'm coming somehow, she says.
It's going to be so fun.
We're prepping to, invest in all of that stage gear, camera lighting gear, and everything that we're going to have set up in Vegas.
Yeah.
It'll be a big project, investment on our end too, but I think it'll be helpful big time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to hire a cameraman that makes me look bad. So I promise you, we're going to make you look so good on camera, and you're going to the gatekeepers will love you. They really will.
Break through those gatekeepers, guys. All right, that does it. You guys have a wonderful Christmas and jumping into New Year, and it's been a blast with you guys tonight.
Amen. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody. Talk soon. Click the link, sign up. See you in Vegas. Bye.